I think that this is, I love a talk like this because I've done a lot of teaching as a software engineer. I firmly believe that technology is something that many people can understand on a much deeper level than they even feel like they can, because there's kind of this air of mysticism around it that's not really necessary, because it's all just straight logic and ones and zeros. So really all comes down to some it can be very complex, but it all boils down to something very simple. So today's session will be kind of defining the very basics of what Web3 and blockchain is, and describing how it works, because I think once the word blockchain is kind of put into another definition or another understanding or context, then it doesn't become something that feels like you're detached from, or something that's removed from you. So I just wanted to start first with I'm not the best PowerPoint maker, but a basic definition that I found that I really liked was about Web3, and I highlighted some of the keywords. At the most basic level, Web3 refers to a decentralized online ecosystem based on the blockchain. So I'll describe what decentralized means versus centralized. I have some diagrams. What the blockchain is, and then platforms and apps built on Web3 won't be owned by a central gatekeeper, but rather by users who will earn their ownership stake by helping to develop and maintain those services. So what in this second part here is kind of differentiating between is the central gatekeeper you can think of in the Web2 context is somebody like Facebook, who owns your data and can sell your data, and then not only do you not make any money off of you as a human being interacting with other human beings on their platform, but you don't even know that that's happening maybe. So in this Web3 world, the idea is that the users own their data. They actually can earn based on their participation and what they bring, the value that they bring to the platforms. So I'll just pause right there.
I was shaking my head because it kind of made sense, because I just recently minted into this music NFT, and the founder is a 2-time Grammy-winning producer, and he's building an ecosystem of producers, singer-songwriters, and things like that, and he has, like you said, an ecosystem to where they're earning a coin based off of their participation. And that was kind of a concept that I got once I started learning about the benefits of community and utilities. It's to me, when I tell people about NFTs, it's or Web3, it's kind of like hip hop. It's inundating everything. It's kind of like what people make it. It's fashion, how hip hop is kind of seeped into everything, fashion or whatever. It's you take it and you make it your own. Whatever you make of it, it helps build the ecosystem to where it's just this thing that's just everywhere. So I like how you said that. It just makes sense to me when you said it. I was like, yeah. It's less about what you can. So for me, it's when people are minting in and they're FOMOing, and it's oh my god, I gotta get this thing. And it's get into it if you're really into it. But it's what you could bring to think about, less what you can get out of the project and more about what you can bring to the project, because you're facilitating this ecosystem. It's not something that's new. It's all the rules are being made right now in a sense. So that's why it's exciting.
Exactly. Yeah. The community brings the value.
Sure. Well, I guess that was my question. What is the what is it that we can bring in that's the value?
Yeah.
How do you?
It depends on the project, but at the end of the day, I think you could commonly distill it into the effort, passion, energy of the contributors. So yeah, whether it's an NFT project or a DAO or some maybe decentralized social media, it really depends on like the community that builds it, which has always been true, right? Like TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, if nobody ever used their platforms, they wouldn't be what they are today. The difference here is that the influencers and the creators that make it an interesting platform for users to join actually get compensated for that value that they bring to these companies. So, it's just a different shift.
But how are they, basic question, how are they getting compensated for this? Because like TikTokers, by the way, get compensated. They have people that sponsor them for whether they wear certain clothes or this. So TikTokers and influencers are getting compensated for their content. So how is this ecosystem, depending on the one that you join or you help add value to, how are you getting compensated for that participation of that, wherever you're participating?
So it really depends on how it's crafted, how it's set up, like what that compensation looks like. It can be a coin that's created that's specific to that platform that they earn. It can be something that already exists. Maybe they earn Ethereum or something like that. But with TikTok influencers earning from sponsorships, that's third party basically. That's not TikTok actual. TikTok's raking in, Facebook's raking in.
Right, so you're saying here the difference is they're getting compensated but not through the necessary platform isn't compensated.
Right,
Other people are compensated. Which versus here, it would be directly compensation from the creator of the ecosystem.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes, and in a way, it's more, it's compensation, but it's also ownership.
Correct. Because you're helping grow this platform, or in this case, ecosystem.
Yeah.
It's the new buzzword.
Yeah.
I gotta learn the lingo.
There's a lot of buzzwords. You get lost in the ecosystem. Just get ready. Because when I pitch my product to people, I'm like, buzzword.
Right.
It's a whole new language.
Yeah.
It
A
is.
whole new language.
No, it's okay. I'm learning.